Session must be completed prior to 9:30. We are 2 minutes from that time now. Coaches, please take note. The name change deadline for the medley relay is 2 minutes from the current time. We'd like to thank all of the efforts of our wonderful individuals occupying our volunteer positions on deck and around the facility, and a special thank you to our senior officials for the donation of your time and expertise in running this weekend's proceedings. A reminder again as well, Swim BC is working in partnership with Sports Canada TV, Canada's premier online amateur sport network, to provide live streaming for all Provincials sessions this weekend. For any of you, those of you here in the building in person, make sure to direct your friends and family unable to attend our swims today in-house to the Swim BC YouTube channel and the Day 4 Prelims live stream. We'd also like to remind all athletes, coaches, spectators, there was an earbud turned into the announcing table yesterday, as well as an earbud case. These have been taken down to the lifeguard station at the east end of the pool. If you are looking for an earbud or an earbud case, please make sure to check in with the lifeguard station at the east end of the pool. We also encourage all athletes to check the general meet lost and found on the steps below the lifeguard station prior to the end of prelims today, throughout prelims today, and before indeed the end of finals tonight, before you leave the facility for the weekend. One minute to go before we get underway with our last morning of racing here at the 2026 BC Winter Provincial Championships. As mentioned, lots of great racing ahead of us this morning with a couple shots, opportunities at some records, BC Provincial, National, and America's records up for grabs through today's racing. Athletes behind the blocks at both east and west ends, as well as all coaches and spectators, please note that we may be starting slightly later than our, well, it is 9:30 now. We will be starting slightly later than anticipated. We ask athletes, coaches, and spectators patience. We'll be getting underway as soon as possible. We are going to be starting sans board. The board is not on at the moment. We will be collecting times to assure all coaches, athletes, and spectators our timing system is live. We are good to go. It's time to start at the west end of the pool with the boys 200-meter individual medley and the girls 200 down at the east end. Welcome one and all once again to Saanich Commonwealth Place. Good luck to all athletes in this morning's prelim session. Welcome to day number 4.
Your mark.
At the west end of the pool, a provincial record holder in the water and a potential record holder underway. SM5 classified for the IM events. Lucas Van Herk for Spartan Swim Club is the incumbent BC record holder. A time of 4:22.16. National record of 4:30.88. Van Herk seated in at 4:34.03. SM5 classified in lane 6, Pacific Sea Wolves. Sebastian Masabi entered at a 3:56.96. Also challenges Van Herk for the incumbent BC record, a 4:22.16, seated well under the record at a 3:56.96 again. We also have Omran Majidzada for Surrey Knights, SM9 classified for the IM events. BC SM9 record, a 2:38.47. On the final 25-meter approach, overall fastest time in Heat 1 of the boys' 200-meter individual medley is going to be Gator Swim Club Colin Dew, seated at a 2:43.66. Dew finishing out for first place in lane number 4. Second fastest into the wall, Surrey Knights Swim Club Omran Majidzada. Third fastest, Alan Tang, the Pacific Sea Wolves. First into the wall, Dew was a 2:43.48. Second fastest, Majidzada, at 2:55.65. Tang's time, a 3:01.40. Masabi at a 3:27.50, way under BC record time of 4:22.16, sets a new unofficial provincial record in the 200-meter SM5 sport class. East end of the pool, fastest time was Tenley Post at a 2:40.29 in the first heat of the girls' 200-meter individual medley. East pool moving shortly to heat 2 of 17. Second fastest in the heat, 2:49.77. Pacific Coast Swimming Sophie Wood, close to the BC SM10 provincial record of 2:45.39. West pool moves now to heat 2 of 17 for the boys' 2IM. We would like to once again assure coaches, athletes, and spectators that while our video board at the east end of the pool is not currently showing any results, we are collecting times for our races so far through the morning. Underway at the west end of the pool, this is heat 2 of 17 for the boys' 200-meter individual medley. Third fastest finish at the east end, Alyssa Hebert, SM5, classified for the IM events for Stedford Bears Para. Heat 2 of 17 coming up next. Hebert's time, a 6:14.57. Fastest time coming up here on the west end of the pool for swim 2 of the boys' 200-meter individual medley. We're going to be moving next into heat 3 of 17. Lucas Bartlett, a 2:35.38 for first and 8. Second fastest finish was Teo Boss for Vernon Kokanee in lane number 6 at a 2:37.87. Third fastest, Willem Buitelaar for Olympian Swimming, a 2:39.80. We have our board now partially up. Fastest time out at the end of the breaststroke leg in the east end, lane 6, was Amican Van Wiseman for Pacific Sea Wolves. Second fastest was Claire Lynn at a 2:05.55. Fastest finish, East End, Heat 2, 2:37.44. Amica Han Wiseman, lane 6 for Pacific Sea Wolves. Second fastest, Vernon Kokanee Swim Club at 2:39.89. In lane number 4 is Claire Lynn. East Pool moving to Heat 3 of 17. Fastest time overall in Heat 3. For the boys 2IM, Caleb Reap for Kisu Swim Club, a 2:31.53 in 4. Under his entry time by just over 3.5 seconds. Second fastest finish, lane number 7, Pacific Coast Swimming's Lucas Schroeder, Heat 4, up next. West end of the pool, 107.41 at the halfway turn. Leading time for Kisu Swim Club's Cam Chambers. Chambers followed up second. Hayak Swim Club in lane number 4, Andy Pan, 109.57. Canadian Dolphins at the east end of the pool, top out for first, with Everly Hirsch in lane number 7 at 2:33.73. Currently the fastest time in the girls' 200-meter individual medley. East end moving now to heat number 4. West End Pool, fastest time, lane number 5. Kisu Swim Club's Cam Chambers at a 2:24.65. Well under a 2:27.49 seed time, downing that by nearly 3 seconds, 2.8. Second for Hayak Swim Club's Andy Pan in lane 4, heat 5, up next. East End Pool, 2 and 5 lead the fields. To start off heat 4, our halfway turn in 2 for Elodie Sandler of Kelowna Aquajets. Isla Hingston for Kelowna, second up in 5. From the 50 prior, Hingston at second remains there. However, Elodie Sandler for third at the end of the butterfly, up to set first at the end of the back. 150-meter mark, 157.68 leads the field in 5. That again, Isla Hingston for Kelowna. West End Pool, halfway turn in Heat 5 for the boys, 2 IM, 104.46. Kelowna in 7. Finn Kirk, followed by Ladysmith Shemana Swim Club, Jacob Reichert. Heat 4 at the east end of the pool, fastest time, Kelowna in 5. Isla Hingston topping out 2:33.05, a second, 0.2 under seed. Fastest time so far in the girls 2 IM by 7/10. Heat 5 up next. Fastest time, Heat 5. On the boys' end, west end of the pool, lane 7 is Finn Kirk for Kelowna Aquajets, 2:17.69. Big drop, down 6 seconds from seat time. Fastest time so far in the boys' 2 IM, Heat 7. Heat 6 up next. East End, halfway turn, 1:10.74 in 3. Pacific Coast Swimming, Elodie Chernenkov. Chernenkov seeded third fastest in the heat at a 2:32.42. Top seed in Heat 5 at 2:32.22 for Isla Ing Lanhurst Hayek in 4. Fastest time, East End, girls 200 IM in Heat 5, a 2:31.70. Elodie Chernenkov first in lane number 3. East Pool moving to Heat number 6. Chernenkov's time, the fastest so far at the East End. But over to the West End now for the finish of Heat 6. Top time, lane 6 for Vancouver Pacific Swim Club, Mateo Palma at a 2:16.35. Fastest so far in prelims. Heat 7. East Pool Girls 200 IM in Heat 6. Outsides are our leaders, Island Swimming and Canadian Dolphins. Zoe Patterson and Emily Tall. .104.38 at the west end. Pacific Coast Swimming leading here. Noah Zhang for a 2:19.75 seed time. 2:19.91 second fastest in Heat 7. Evan Chiang in lane 5. Fastest. Fastest into the wall in the east end of the pool in Heat 6, going to be a 2:25.90. First place finish not for Patterson though. Delta Sun God Swim Club's Madeline Paredes Troughton, first place in lane 2, followed second Canadian Dolphins Rafaela Berchour in lane 5. Heat 7 up next. West Pool 2:17.62, top time for Noah Zhang of Pacific Coast Swimming in lane number 4. High point remains 2:16.35 from Mateo Palma from Heat 6, Heat 8 behind the blocks. Underway now at the west end, Heat 8 of 17. In the East Pool, Heat 7 of 17. Top seed here, Sydney Moser for China at 2:30.79, 100-meter mark. Coming up. Moser seated at a 2:30.79. Second fastest seen in the heat, Zelina Wu for Richmond Rapids, a 2:30.94. Fastest at the 100, however, Holly Burns swimming Audrey Talbot at a 1:08.74. Talbot followed Rapids, Richmond Rapids, Adelina Wu in lane number 5. And third for Stella Niebel of Pacific Coast in 6. .50 to go in Heat 7 at the east end. New leader, Andrea Sanchez Portillo for Pacific Sea Wolves, followed up Alina Wu for Richmond Rapids in 5. 150-meter mark coming up on the west end of the pool in boys, Heat 8, lane 2, lane 6. Noah Arthiaba and Owen Schall for Vancouver Pacific are top 2. East Pool, fastest time, Heat 7, 2:27.92. High point stands 2:25.90 for Madeline Paredes Troughton from Heat 6. Top time in Heat 7 is Andrea Sanchez Portillo in 2. Heat 8 up next. In the West Pool, fastest time after Heat 8 at 2:16.86, won by Noah Arthiaba and Owen Zhao, second in lane 6 for Vancouver Pacific. Now underway, Heat 9 of 17, and on the east end, Heat 8. Swimming in lane number 8, we have SM10 for the IM events classified Mary Jibb, a Paralympic team member for Canada heading into the Paris Paralympic Games. Pacific Seawolves representing Mary Jibb is the SM9, America's record holder, as well as a world record holder, para-world record holder in the 50 back 4IM 2-1 freestyle. These were all set in December this year at the Ontario Junior International. Jibbs' seed time, a 2:30.46, not far off of the standing Canadian record, a 2:27.26 by Katie Cosgrove, a two-time Para-Worlds medalist and Paralympic medalist, and the Americas record, a 2:28.73, held currently by Aurélie Rivard, the first Canadian ever to win 3 straight consecutive gold medals at 3 Paralympic Games. As well, Aurélie Rivard, a 6-time World Para-Championship medalist and a 6-time Paralympic champion, including a silver medalist at the Rio Paralympic Games in this event. As you may have noticed, the Canadian record stands a second faster than the Americas record at a 2:27.26. This is due to a classification issue with not a classification issue, but my mind is deserting me. A lack of a qualification representative at the event the Canadian record was swum at. However, nonetheless, we're into the end of our East Pool finish of Heat 8. Top time here is a 2:27.01 for PGB, Prince George Barracuda's Catherine Bowman. 2:38.28 for Mary Jibb, Pacific Seawolves in lane number 8. East Pool moves now to Heat 7 and Heat 9 of 17. .213.38 at the west end at the end of Heat 9. The 17 swims in the boys' 200-meter individual medley. 213.38 now is a new high point swim for the event by 3 seconds under the 216.35 swum by Mateo Palma in Heat 6. That time for Winskill Dolphins' Leo Kim back in Heat 9, 1 heat to go. Currently underway, Heat 10 coming in towards our 100-meter mark turn. At the east end, the 100-meter mark turn for Heat 9 had Kelowna Aquajets' Ellie Chu leading the field in lane number 2. .103 flat. Vancouver Pacific swimming in lane number 4 at the west end. Tyler Clogg leading in Heat 10. East end of the pool, fastest time, heat 9. 2:30.27.02, Ellie Chu for Kelowna Aquajets. Heat 10 behind the blocks. West. At the end of heat 10 on the west side of the pool, 2:12.08 set a new high point swim for Kubrick Reed of Vernon Kokanee Swim Club. Under his seed time by 3 seconds 3/10, 2:12.08 under previous high point 2:13.38 by Leo Kim the heat prior. This is now heat 11 of 17 for the boys' 200-meter individual medley. East end of the pool in heat 10, leading time, Kelowna Aquajets, lane number 4, Amelia An Liu at 1:06.91, 1:10.82 is 4th place in the heat in 5. The second fastest seed time, Pacific Coast Swimming's Avery Hill, a 2:27.09 behind Amelia An Liu's 2:26.95. West end of the pool, outside lead in 8 for Philip Milosevsky of Canadian Dolphins. Up front, a 1:01.38, followed 1:02.20. Squamish Pirates, Brody Buck, second in 7. East end of the pool in heat 10 for the girls 2IM. Fastest time, outside smoke finish for Winskill Dolphins, Canadian Dolphins. Winskill Dolphins 2:24.60, Reese Bruno. West End, a 2:14.12. Vancouver Pacific Swim Club's Joshua Ong, lane 2, heat 12, up next. Heat 11 of the girls' 200-meter individual medley, halfway turn, a 1:06.90 for Olympian swimming, Sophie Smith. Up front in 4, followed lane 7, Richmond Rapids, Rebecca Dong. West End Pool in heat 12. Leading time under the minute mark of 59.55. Island swimming in 6 with Noah Weaver. Weaver followed second, Julius Bartkovich for Kisu in 8. For heat 11 in the East Ends, fastest time is a 2:25.78. Pacific Sea Wolves in 6. Emily Adam with the high point swim in the heat. Heat 12. To 8:83 in heat 12 at the West End. Bartkovich in 8, heat 13 up next. (1:05.60) leading time, heat 12 at the East End for Olympian swimming. Carolyn Jia. High point so far for the girls 2IM stands from heat 10 and Grace Bruneau at 2:24.60. West End halfway turn for heat 13. Prince George Barracuda's Isaac Bennett in lane 3 up front at a 1:02.15, followed second, third, lane 8, lane 7. Pacific Coast Swimming, Gators Swim Club, Yanni Melonas in 8 and Jaden Lung in 7. Fastest time in heat 12 at the East Ends for the girls 2IM. Topping out with a 2:22.67. Well, under a seat time of 2:25.49. Carolyn Jia for Olympian swimming. Fastest time so far in the girls 200-meter individual medley. Second for Kisu Swim Club, Zayla Yamanoka in 2, heat 13 up next. West end of the pool, boys 2IM, 2:11.82 at the end of heat 13. Top time for Neil Zhou of Pacific Sea Wolves. Tied second at 2:12.82, Jacob McNamee for Kisu and Isaac Bennett for Prince George Barracudas. This is now heat 14 underway. Swimming in lane number 1, Paris Paralympic team member for Canada, Olympian swimming Fernando Liu. At a 2:10.63 holds both the BC and tied national record, a 2:10.63 his entry time for this morning's prelim session swim. Liu turns out 1:48.31 with 50 to go. Not going to be seeing the record this morning, 2:10.63. Record pace was a 1:39.92. December the 6th earlier this season at the BPSC Winter Invitational in Vancouver. Underway now at the east end of the pool, heat 14 of 17 for the girls' 200-meter individual medley. 2:23.61 at the end of heat 13 by Ava Maley of Kelowna Aquajets. Underway now, heat 14, where top seed is lane 4 Juliet Nicholson for Kelowna at 2:23.51. 59.73 in the west pool, lane 4 leads. Kelowna Aquajets' Liam Chu, 2:03.41 as the seed time. Previous swim, heat 14, had a 2:08.72 high point. Swum by Sasha Woldnick of Comox Valley Aquatic Club. This is the fastest time so far, replacing the previous 2:08.83 high points by Bartkovich in heat 12 by 1/10 of a second. $50 meters to go at the west end. East end, halfway turn, 1:05.77 in 5. Kelowna Aquajets' Emily Kolanowski. Fastest time, the west end, 2:05.36 in 4. Liam Chu for Kelowna. Now fastest time in prelims. Heat 16, penultimate swim up next. Fastest time at the East End in Heat 14. Lane 4, Juliet Nicholson for Kelowna, 2:20.79. Overall, the fastest swim so far in the girls' 200-meter individual medley. Nicholson followed Golanowski in 5. Heat 15 up next. .100-meter mark turn, penultimate swim for the boys' 200-meter individual medley at 57.72 in 4. Olympian swimming, Justin Jung seated at a 2:86. The second fastest overall seed time for the boys' 200-meter individual medley. Jung as well, the second fastest 17 and over age group seed for this event. Top seed Danny Park will be swimming next heat of this event. 1:31.61 on the clock into the final 50 of freestyle. Jung leading, followed second Pacific Sea Wolves Matthew Kao in 5. Winter 2025, silver medalist Justin Jung first into the wall, 2:01.65. First place in Heat 16. Fastest time so far in prelims, 1 heat to go. Heat 17 behind the blocks. East Pool, a 1:44.95 in 4. Pacific Coast Swimming. Maëlle Sanborn, the third fastest overall seed for the girls' 200-meter individual medley, 2:16.30 as the seed time. Winter 2025, a year ago at this competition, Sanborn as a 13-14-year-old was the silver medalist in this event, as well as the bronze medalist in the 400-meter individual medley. And Sanborn with a 2:17.97 tops the board on Heat 15 with the fastest time thus far in prelims for the girls 2IM. Underway now, Heat 16 of 17. Top seed here is Shea Murtha for Olympian swimming at 2:15.74. Back in summer of 2024, Murtha was a bronze medalist in this event, along with the 400-meter individual medley. Along with Sanborn in the heat prior, represented BC at the Canada Summer Games in St. John's, Newfoundland. And as well, Mirtha, the second fastest 15-16-year-old age group seed in the girls 200 individual medley. At the west end of the pool, top time overall in Heat 17 is Danny Park. Second, rather, in 4, Danny Park behind Jeffrey Chan of Vancouver Pacific Seawolves. Danny Park with the fastest seed time was a 2-minute 5.6, finishes 2:02.73 with a 1:58.5. The overall fastest time for Jeffrey Chen in the 200-meter individual medley for prelims. West Pool moves now to event 60, the boys 50-meter backstroke, heat 1 of 13. Fastest time at the east end of the pool in Heat 16, 2:17.97 in 5. Winskill Dolphins Naomi Minot. Final swim for the girls 200-meter individual medley. Behind the blocks is Heat 17. Heat 2 next up at the west end of the pool for the boys 50 back. Fastest time in the first 50 back heats at the west end for the boys, a 34.27. Surrey Night Swim Club, Riting Yao. Heat 2 of 13 underway, now at the west end. East end, our final swim of the girls 200 IM, coming up to the halfway turn. Top overall seeds, Michelle Zhang for Canadian Dolphins. Pausing there, back to the West Pool. Top time in Heat 2, 32.42. 6 is Williams Lake Bluefins' Emmett Engel. Heat 3 up next. Top overall seed for Heat 17, Michelle Zhang at a 2:15.22. Currently trending behind leader, Mai Samantakap for Olympian swimming in lane number 3. Touches first, 2:18.76 in lane 3. High point overall for the girls 2IM stands a tied 2:17.97 for both Naomi Minot of Winskill Dolphins in Heat 16 and Miles Sanborn for Pacific Coast Swimming in Heat 15. East Pool moves now to Heat 1 of 12, girls 50 back behind the blocks. Heat 1. Fastest time, heat 4 of the boys 50 backstroke, going to be in lane number 1. Outside smoke finish, Surrey Night Swim Club, Matthew Sun at 2:29.76. Heat 5 up next at the West End. Fastest time, heat 5, boys 50 back, top time in lane number 4. Smack dab in the center, Mason D'Entourant for Island swimming at 29.16. Heat 6 up next. Girls time, fastest, D'Entourant's time, 29.16, fastest so far in prelims. East Pool now underway with Heat 3, 34.06 in Heat 1 from Emily Liu of Surrey Knights, 33.03 from Kaylin Emerson from Ridge Meadows in Heat 2. Back to the West Pool, Heat 6, top time in 5 is Jacob Reichert for Ladysmith Chemainus, 29.45. Heat 7 up next. $31.93 at the East End for Elise McCluskey in Heat 3. Heat 4 underway now. West End Pool finished top time in 5, followed 4. Top time is Ty Stroud for Olympian Swimming, 28.19. Columbia Shuswap Selkirk Felix Landhurst second in 7. Heat 8 up next. East Pool 31-24 for Chelsea Reuter of Duncan. Heat 5 up next. West Pool Heat 8 top time going to be 26.90 in 6. Julius Bartkovich for Kisu. Second fastest Vernon Kokanee Swim Club Kubrick Reed in 4. Heat 9 up next. (31-31) at the East End in Heat 5 for Lars Senecal and Lane 8 for West Vancouver Otters. Heat 6 underway. West End Pool Heat 9 top time in lane number 2. Comox Valley Aquatic Club 27.60 for Luke Nell. High Point stands 26.90 for Bartkovich, the Heat prior. Heat 10 up next. (31-39) in Heat 6 at the East End for Nora Hind of Chinook Swim Club. Heat 7 up next. High Point remains 31-24 for Chelsea Reuter. West Pool top time Heat 10 is a time of 26.97. Olympian swimming Adonariel Rosal Brito in lane number 2. High Point stands 26.90 for Bartkovich. Heat 11 up next. East Pool, fastest time 31.04, lane 4. Pacific Seawolves, Elsa Liu, Heat 8. Heat 8 underway at the east end of the pool. Mary Jibb, S10 classified in the backstroke events. Pacific Seawolves, a 31.818 seed time. National record at 29.68 held by Katie Cosgriff, silver medalist in this event at World Champs Singapore, 100 backstroke rather, not in this event. West Pool, 26.8 in 5 was Callum Zeefley for Kisu. Heat 12 up next, penultimate swim. Heat 8, 30.63 top time for Camilla Palau of Canadian Dolphin Swim Club. In lane 5, though, a 33.26 new BC record in the S10 sport classification for Mary Jibb under the S10 BC record held by Sophie Wood at 35.14. Congratulations. Heat 9 up next. Westpool, 26.02, Colton Gonzalez, top 15, 16-year-old age group seed, touches first for Ladysmith Shemana Swim Club at lane number 4. 26.02, fastest time so far, heat 13, final swim. Eastpool, 30.29, lane 2 of heat 9, Anastasia Bogush for Hayek, new high point swim, 10 odds up next, heat 10. .25.72, Matteo Savini for Olympian swimming. Fastest time in prelims for the boys 50-meter backstroke. Finishes first in 4 by a body length. Event 62 up next on the West End. Boys 50 breast, heat 1 of 17. .78 in heat 10. The girls 50-meter backstroke. Carolyn Jia in lane 4 for Olympian swimming. 28.78 high point swim. Heat 11. Penultimate swim up next. First heat of the boys 50 breast, top time of the West End 37.80.56 in lane number 3. Heat 2 up next. Heat 11 at the East End, 27.95, 9/10 short of the 15-17 BC record held by 4-time World Junior Championship Jade Hanna, junior champion at the World Junior Championships. That is Olivia Zhou with that time. Heat 12 up next, final swim. Fastest time, heat 2 at the West End, Austin Liu for Canadian Dolphins, 36.73. Fastest time so far, heat 3 behind the blocks. At the Last heat of the girls 50-meter backstroke. Top time is in lane number 2. It's 28:57. Canadian Dolphins, Izzy Stack Hunter at 28:57. Overall fastest time for the girls 50 back stands 27:95 for Olivia Zhou in heat 11. Heat 1 of 13 for event 61, the girls 50 breaststroke. Coming up next at the East End. West End, 34:59. Derek Francois from Pacific Coast, first into the wall in heat 3. Heat 4 up next. West End, heat 4, top time, 34:31. Whitehorse Glacier Bears in lane number 4 is Roy O'Bourne. Heat 5 coming up next. O'Bourne's time, the fastest in the event so far. East end of the pool, 35.50 for Mia Whittle, Kamloops Classics. That's the benchmark to beat in the girls 50 breast. Heat 2 underway now. West End pool, top time 33.1. $33.16 at the West End for Reese Watson at the end of Heat 5 for West Van Otters. Heat 6 underway, turning down now to the east end of the pool. End of Heat number 2, 30.872. Lane 1, Vancouver Pacific Swim Club, Lauren Soy. Heat 3 up next. $33.42 in 7 at the West End for Jessie Wen of Canadian Dolphins in lane 7. Heat 7. East end of the pool in Heat 3 of the girls 50 breaststroke. Top time close, 37.95, followed 37.98. 3 100s between lane 6, lane 5. Fiona McFarlane and Arya Batra. Heat 4 up next. West End 32.07, Jackson Ritchie, new high point swim by 1.1, heat 8 up next. East end of the pool, fastest time outside smoke finish in lane 8. Andrea Sanchez Portillo for Pacific Seawolves, 35.59. High point still stands, Whittle, 35.50, heat 5 up next. Outside smoke again, West Pool. Pardon me. 30.10 Pacific Coast Swimming, unattached rather, Denise Chimchuk. .30.10 for Dennis Timchuk in Heat 8, stands fastest time in the boys' 50-meter breaststroke so far. Back down to the West Pool with a pause on the East end. Top time going to be now in lane number 9, or pardon me, Heat 9, lane number 4. Terrace Blueback Swim Club's Gabriel Ungeheuer at 31.12 and 4. Heat 10 up next. .36-31 for Catherine Bowman. Prince George Barracudas in 6 in Heat 5. Heat 6 at the East End up next. West Pool, fastest time, Heat 10. Top time in lane number 3, Kelowna Aquajets, Rilo Kaler at a 30.52. Heat 11 up next. East Pool, outside smoke finish, lane 8, Vancouver Pacific Swim Club's Maya Molyneux, 34.39. Heat 7. West Pool, fastest time, Heat 11, is a time of 30.99, Comox Valley in lane number 5. Sasha Woldnick. High point stands 30.10 for Dennis Timchuk. Heat 12 up next. East Pool, outside smoke again, 35-26 Spartan Swim Club. Gwenafopol, Heat 8 up next. Coaches, athletes, spectators, we have a disqualification West End, event 62, heat 5, lane 1. That is a disqualification event 62, heat 5, lane 1. West Pool, top time, heat 12, 31:04, lane 6, William Way. Heat 13. Heat 8 on the east end of the pool. Top time is a outside smoke finish, 35:08, 3 in a row. Isabel Homeniuk for Richmond Rapids. Heat 9 up next. Heat 13 for the boys, 50-meter breaststroke, 30.38. 30.38, Vancouver Pacific Swim Club at Kubrick Reed in 5. Heat 14 up next. Heat 9, the east end of the pool, top time, Vancouver Pacific with the 4th outside smoke finish in a row, 33.99. Juliette Roberts for Vancouver Pacific Swim Club, Heat 10 up next. First place in 7, Heat 14, boys 50 breast, Liam Chu for Kelowna Aqueducts, 29.64. High point swim now, Heat 15 up next. East end of the pool in heat number 10, top time, center pool, 34.32. Elsa Chen for Olympian Swimming. Heat 11 up next. West Pool, Saskatoon Goldfinch, Jaden Belaus, third, 28.76, top time, heat 15. Overall fastest time at the 50 breast so far. 2 heats to go, heat 16 behind the blocks. East Pool. Heat 11, top time, 32.63. Canadian Dolphins, lane number 4, Olivia Jo. Heat 12 up next. Fastest in event so far, top time, heat 16, 28.33, bettering Belaus's time by 0.4 of a second. Luke Stewart being there for Olympian Swimming, heat 17 behind the blocks, final swim. East Pool, fastest time currently held at 32:63 for Olivia Zhou. Back ends, top time at the end of Heat 12, 32:23. New high point swim in lane 4, Nina McEachran for Kisu. One swim to go. This is Heat 13. Fastest time at the end of the boys 50 breaststroke in lane number 5 is Justin Jung for Olympian Swimming. Event 64, boys 4 free, comes up next, Heat 1 of 11. East end of the pool, top time at the end of Heat 13, 32:63 is Miles Sanborn, fastest 15-16-year-old seed time for the girls 50 breaststroke. 32:63 at the end of Heat 13. Overall fastest swim 32:23. Nina McEachran from Heat 12. The girls end moves now to Heat 1 of 12, girls 4 free. Overall, the fastest time for the boys 50 breaststroke was the 27:69 for Justin Jung of Olympian Swimming. Again, as mentioned, we are underway with Heat 1 for both the girls and boys. 400 freestyle at the east and west ends, respectively. 257.55 on the clock for Kisu in 5. Caleb Reap leading Heat 1, followed Yamina Mankwa Boama for Pacific Coast in 4. 218.92 at the east end on the clock for Pacific Seawolves. Andrea Sanchez Portillo leading the field, followed Casey Nickel for Olympian Swimming in 3. 4:48.81 on the clock at the west end of the pool. Caleb Reap for Kisu Swim Club. Top time, Heat 1. Heat 2 coming up next. East end of the pool, fastest time first heat of the girls, 400 free. 4:41.87 on the clock for Pacific Sea Wolves, Andrea Sanchez Portillo. Second fastest, Olympian Swimming's Casey Nickel in 3. Heat 2. Final lap in Heat 2 of the boys 400 freestyle. Leading turn, Pacific Coast Swimming at 4:02.88 and 7. This is Zarek Francois seated at a 4:52.51. Second, third, Kisu and Hayak. Milo McDermott and Ipan. East Pool coming into 300-meter mark turn. Good finish for our top three in Heat 2 of the boys for free. Top time, though, it is still Francois holding first place at 4:36.84, lane number 7. Close second, third for McDermott and Pan, 3 and 4. Heat 3 up next. East Pool in Heat 2. Our athletes coming to the conclusion of the race. Top time going to be in lane number 4 at 4:49.72. Kisu Swim Club's Adeline Duda. 4:49.7, just under a 4:51.24 entry time. East Pool moves to Heat number 3. Okay. Just over halfway, 2:45.12 on the west side. Leads the field in 7. This is Niall Sullivan, followed up second. Surrey Night Swim Club, Matthew Huang in lane number 4. Top seed in this heat is Huang at a 4:30.94. Sullivan, our leader, at a 4:32.09. East Pool in Heat 3 of the girls for free, coming into the halfway mark turn. A leading time of 2:15.18 there. Rennie Cheng for Pacific Sea Wolves up in front in 4. Following Cheng, Angel Un for Vancouver Pacific in lane 5. Current 4th place, lane number 2, is our top 11 and 12-year-old age group seed. Our top 12 and under age group seed, Wayland Swim Club's Kathy Liu at a 4:41.90. Fastest time, boys heat 3, the 4 free. Swum in lane at number 7, Olympian swimming, Niall Sullivan with strong control of the race from the get-go. 4:24.21. High point swim so far in the boys 4 free, heat 4 up next. East Pool, 50 to go. 4 minutes 72 on the clock, 35:30. Looking like we're going to be a 43:31. $35.17 in for Pacific Seawolves, Rennie Cheng, lane number 4. Second fastest in Heat 3, Wayland Swim Club, Kathy Liu, with final 50 up from final 200 up from 4th place. Heat 4 up next. $2:39.14 on the clock in the West Pool, leading the way in 7th. Finn Kirk for Kelowna Aquajets, just over halfway. Second, third locked up in 5 and 4, or more appropriately 4 and 5. These are top 2 seeds in Heat 4, Sean Wu for Canadian Dolphins and Evan Weatherhead for Spartan. It is actually 5 at the turn here, 3:20.07. East end of the pool, 200-meter turn, top 2, 6 and 5 are Riley Hanlon and are Six and 5 and 6 in Heat 4, Dale Yamanoka and Kate McLaren, Kisu Pacific Coast. In Heat 4 of the boys 400 free, top time is 4:16.68 for Finn Kirk of Kelowna Aquajets. Big drop, down 13 seconds, 1/10 from a 4:29.76 entry time. Fastest time so far in the boys 400 freestyle. Second in the heat in lane 4 for Huxley Ewan. For John Wu, heat 5 up next. We'd like to call coaching representatives from Vancouver Pacific Swim Club, Hayak Swim Club, and Olympian Swim Club down to the meet administration desk in reference to potential swim-offs. Once again, coaching representatives, Vancouver Pacific Swim Club, Hayak Swim Club, and Olympian Swim Club, as well as Vernon Kokanee Swim Club, down to the meet administration desk as soon as possible in relation to potential swim-offs. Once again, those 4 coaching representatives required: Vancouver Pacific Swim Club, Hayak Swim Club, Vernon Kokanee Swim Club, and Olympian Swim Club. Coaches, athletes, spectators, we've had an earring turned into the announcing table. This earring will make its home here for the next hour or so. Then it will be turned into Lost and Found with the pool. If you are missing an earring, please come down to the announcing table with a description of the earring you are missing. Once again, an earring has been turned into the announcing table. It will stay here for approximately the next hour, and then it will make its way down to pool Lost and Found. If you are missing an earring, come down to the announcing table beside lane 8 at the start end of the pool. In the West Pool, fastest time in heat number 5, a 4:17.37 For Pacific Swim Club's Tyler Clogg for 17:37. Second and 2 for Jaden Gu of Olympian Swimming, Heat 6 up next. East Pool, fastest time in Heat 5, a time of 4:25.20. High X Swim Club's Anastasia Bogush. Heat 6 coming up next. A triple stop for our top three here in Heat 5, the West End. Heat 6. I suppose this is why the new World Aquatics rule is that we have bells coming up in the 400 freestyle. 4:15.20, top time in 7 is Surrey Knights Swim Club. In Heat 6, that is Justin Dunder in 7, 4:15.20. Despite the stop, this is the fastest time so far in the boys 400 free. Heat 7 up next. East Pool, fastest time at the end of Heat 6, a 4:33.93. Outside smoke finish for Hayek Swim Club's Hanna Korsanowska. Drops time from a 4:37.12. High point for the girls 400 freestyle currently stands 4:25.20. Anastasia Bogush for Hayek from Heat number 5. Heat 7 coming up next. Fastest into the wall in Heat 7 of the boys 4 free, 3:59.00. Adenuriel Rosal Brito for Olympian swimming. First time in the boys 4 free under the 4-minute mark. And a 59 flat at that. Kelowna Aquajets is second in this heat. That is Ilya Sapush for Kelowna in lane 6. Heat 8 coming up behind the blocks. East end of the pool. Fastest time, heat 7 of the girls 400 freestyle. A time in lane 6 for Emily Adam of Pacific Sea Wolves 4:30.36. Heat 8 up next. Heat 9 underway in the west end of the pool. Heat 9 of 11, 4:08.40 at the end of Heat 8 was the fastest time for Weiss Wu of Hollyburn Swimming. Wu followed into the wall by Jinsei Yamamoto in Heat 8 in lane number 2. High point for the boys 4 free currently stands 3:59.60 at Noel Rosal Brito for Olympian Swimming. On the west end, our heat in the water, plus 2 heats to go before we get underway with our relays. East end of the pool, coming towards the end of Heat 8. Last couple seconds of the race, in fact. Top time is going to be in lane number 4, Marley Hurston for Island Swimming, a 4:27.27 for first and 4. Girls side, high point stands 4:25.26 for Anastasia Bogush of Hayak back in heat number 5. Heat 9 coming up next. Heat 9 of the boys 400 free. Top time, Kelowna Aquajets in lane number 6. Max Barmar at a 4:05.35. High point stands for Rosal Brito at 3:59.60. Heat 10 up next. Heat 9 in the East Pool for the girls 400 freestyle coming to a close. Last couple seconds. Fastest time is third fastest seed Maya Molyneux for Vancouver Pacific for 27:78. Second fastest Spartan Swim Club's Chelsea Holditch in lane number 1. Heat 10 up next. Final 3. Heat 10, our penultimate swim for the boys 200, 400 freestyle. Zach Milnes for Campbell River Killer Whales leading our field, followed Noah Weaver, Callum Zeefley. Final few strokes, good finish for Milnes, not quite enough for first, is Weaver with a first place finish just overtaking Milnes through the final 50. 4 minutes 64 in lane number 4. Milnes for Campbell River, second and 2. Heat 11 of 11 up next, final swim. Overall, the fastest seed time for the boys 400-meter freestyle. Olympian swimming Sandra Kreumans at 3:44.96. PB for Sandra Kreumans from December 6th this season at the BPSC Winter Invitational. Dutch national Sandra Kreumans with a 3:44.96 short course ranks within the top 10 times ever swum inside the Netherlands. 3:44.96 is 10th overall in that Dutch history. 2:25.48. 250-meter turn. Second overall here, 2:28.79. Pacific Coast Swimming in lane number 2 is Nolan Greenwood. Final 10 meters in our final swim of the boys 400-meter freestyle. Top overall time in heat 11 as well as overall for prelims. A 3:53.50 for Sander Kremans representing Olympian swimming. Second fastest finish in lane number 1, Alex Kamarev for Pacific Coast, 4 minutes 84. The West Pool is moving now to the first and only time final swim this morning for the boys 12 and under 4x50 medley relay. Second swim for this event will of course swim tonight with finals. After this swim we move on to the 13-14 age group. Second to last heat for the girls 400 freestyle underway. This is heat 11 of 12. Currently leading Winskill Dolphins in lane number 4, 3:12.72 on the clock. 300-meter turn for Winskill Dolphins' Naomi Minot. High point for the girls 400 currently stands at 4:23.83 from last heat, heat 10, where Vivienne Lin for Olympian swimming was the top time in lane number 4. Lin's time replaces the previous 4:25.26 for Anastasia Bogush back from heat 5. West end of the pool, 1:49.02 in lane number 5, Olympian swimming's B relay, leading for our first relay event on the west end side. Fastest time, West End, 2:19.51, Pacific Seawolves, lane number 4. This will serve as the time to beat for our second swim tonight at finals. West Pool moves now to heat 1 of the boys 13-14 4x50 medley relay. East Pool, 4:17.46 for Naomi Minot at the end of heat 11, the fastest time in prelims thus far. Taylor McPherson second in 2, heat 12 up next. fast finish in the second swim on our relays in the West End pool. 157.02, 157.13. West Van and Surrey Knights in 4 and 5 are the times to beat for our final swim of this race, heading into finals. Heat 2 in this event as well, swimming tonight with finals. We now move to event 70, the boys 15-17 4x50 medley relay. Heat 1 of 4 time finals this early afternoon. At the east side of the pool, 420.15, Winskill Dolphins Abigail McLeod with the top time Heat 12. 417.46, the top time overall for this morning in the 400 freestyle. Women's end, girls' end moves now to event 65. The first swim, only swim for time finals today in the girls 12 and under 4x50 medley relay. $152.78, Heat 1 of the 15-17 4x50 medley. Gators Swim Club for first in 3, Spartans second in 5, Heat 2 behind the blocks. Coaches, athletes, we now note that our scratch deadline for finals is 12:36. Once again, all coaches, any self-representing athletes, scratch deadline for finals is called at 12:36. Any scratches for finals are asked to please be delivered to media administration prior to 12:36. Over to the east side pool. Our first and only swim in the girls 12 and under 4 by 50 medley relay for our time finals in this early afternoon session. Top time is a 2:19.25 in 4. Pacific Sea Wolves in 4. 2:19.25 is the time to beat for our second swim tonight with finals. In the west pool, at the end of heat 2 for the boys 4x50 medley, can be a shoe swap Selkirk's in 5, 150.29. Heat 3 behind the blocks. Fastest time so far for the 15-17 boys relay. Yeah, again, a 150 points from our second heat of this event. This is heat 3 of our 4 swims in time finals for session number 7. Top seed, the 150.93 for Pacific Sea Wolves B, lane number 4. Leading out of the 100-meter mark, turn 59.53, one of 2 times at the 100 under the 1-minute mark. Kemp over Killamills leading lane 2. Oliver Vanjacek takes over for leg 3. Followed on fly, Joshua Liu for Pacifico second in lane number 1. Halfway turn at the east end, 13-14 girls 4x50, 107.61. Leading time, Olympian swimming in 5. Heat 3 of the 15-17 boys, top time a 150.86. Heat 4 behind the blocks. In the boys relay, 150.13 stands overall fastest time from Heat 2, and Columbia Shuswap second and third fastest from last heat. Pacific Seawolves and Nanaimo Riptides in 4 and 7. In Heat 4, 150 to go. Leading out at 123.68, Kisu in lane number 6. Anchor for Kisu is Jack Dodds, off from Callum Zeefley's Fly 50. East Pool underway with our first swim in the 15-17 age group for the girls 13-14 4x50 medley relay. Fastest time at the end of the 13-14 relay was a 2:07.59 for Olympian swimming. In the final swim this early afternoon for the boys 4x50 medley in 1:48.10, we have Kisu in lane 6 with the overall fastest time. Second and third, 1:48.23, 1:48.59 are overall the second and third fastest times in time finals for session 7, 5, and 4 are Olympian swimming in Comox. Coaches, athletes, and spectators, with that swim concluded, Heat 5 in the boys 15-17 4x50 meter medley relay will be swimming solely tonight, as well as the one swim in our 18 and over boys 4x50 meter medley relay. That wraps up our session at the West End. Thank you all coaches, athletes, and spectators for coming out to our West End session for the boys events on day 4. We invite our remaining officials, as you are already doing, to begin making their way off deck. Fastest time, first heat of the girls 15-17 relay. Moving on to Heat 2. A reminder to coaches, athletes, and spectators on the